The Nintendo Switch has proven to be one of the best consoles for multiplayer that have come out in years. One of the best parts about the Nintendo Switch though is it comes with enough controllers to play multiplayer with the Joy-Cons. While in tablet mode you have the two Joy-Cons connected to each other, you can take one off, and depending on the games, taking both of them off and each person having one of those Joy-Cons, you can play multiplayer with the device right out of the box. If you want to play split screen or co-op, whether it's in your house sitting with your family or you're in the car and you're bored and you want to play with your siblings or your friends, you just pop the Joy-Cons off and play them together. What are the best games to play in co-op or split screen on the Nintendo Switch? Let's find out. So the first game, and I think one of the best games for co-op and split screen on the Nintendo Switch, is Overcooked. The reason for this is, Overcooked is one of those games where it seems really easy in the beginning, but it gets so hectic and crazy towards the farther levels and trying to get the high scores, that this is one of those games that you guys rage at each other and have a blast yelling like, no, 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 how could you do that? And you just get so excited and worked up as you play this game. Ask anybody who's played Overcooked with people they know, that game is crazy. The basic idea of it is you are chefs trying to get whatever food needs to be out to the customers. But the crazy thing about it is, for instance, let's say you have to cut the bread and you have to cut an onion and they have to bring that chopped stuff over to someone else who's going to put it into a dish. That dish is going to cook and then they have to take that and they have to put it with this. And so there's multiple chefs that have to do different jobs. Anyone can technically do any of the jobs, but the way you have to work is you have to figure out who's going to do what jobs and stick to it. But in the later levels, crazy stuff starts happening where you're driving on a truck and the truck's split apart and you have to jump from one truck to another while the trucks are driving to get to the other side of the kitchen. Or you're on a big ship in the ocean and when a wave comes and it tilts the ship, the entire thing moves down. So you might have been cutting and you're fine, and then it moves and pushes you out of the way. You have to figure out how to get back up and around and get back to what you were doing. And it's very dynamic. There's a ton of fun in this game, and it's meant for multiplayer. You can play this game on your own, but really when you play with 4 people and each person has their own jobs, it just gets so fun and so hectic, and one person can throw it off and everybody's like, how could you do that to us? And then someone else messes up and they're like, you're ruining it too. And it's just such a blast. I mean, everyone I've heard that's got Overcooked and played it has loved it, especially if you want a really fun couch co-op game you can go back to all the time, try to get those high scores. It's just a blast to play, man. That's why I put this game first on the list, because it is probably the most fun family co-op split screen experience, or friends, or whatever, party even. You have a party and you have people trying to do it. It's just so great. So Overcooked would be one of my first recommendations to get if you want a split screen game. We're gonna go in the opposite direction for game number 2, which is Minecraft. The cool thing about Minecraft is the idea that you get to create together. And if you don't know what Minecraft is, I mean, you've probably been under a rock for the last 15 years. I know it's not been around for 15 years, guys, you don't gotta freak out about it. But the idea of the game is that everything is made of blocks. You just run up, you hit a block, it becomes an item, then you can go move that somewhere else and build stuff out of it. So you can have all of this open world, there's just all this stuff. You can tear down trees, rocks, you get pickaxes, you mine into the ground, you find different materials, you make weapons, armor, you can make anything you want. You can make houses, mansions, dungeons, whatever. People have literally made unbelievable things, working games like playing Pokemon in Minecraft. There's unlimited possibilities, but the cool part about being able to play in co-op is that you have someone else to explore with. For instance, let's say, hey, we really want to build a mansion for both of us to live in. While I'm building, you can go out and gather materials, keep bringing them back, putting them in the chest, and I'll keep building the mansion, and I'll build certain aspects, and then we can take turns doing that. Or you can go explore dungeons together and fight monsters together, go into the nether and fight crazy enemies together and try not to die. And if one of you dies, the other person recovers the equipment so that they can keep going. The other person can meet up with them, they can give back the equipment. There's so much about Minecraft it's just a fun exploration, creative game to do together. There's so much to explore, so much stuff to do. You can create for so long, and anything you want to create you can do. So you might have different ideas. I've seen it where one person says, I want this whole side of the map, and you can have this whole side of the map. We'll build up stuff together and we'll compare and we'll fight and we'll lay traps for each other and we'll blow up each other's bases. Like, you can do all that kind of stuff. So Minecraft is an amazing game to play with others, to inspire creativity and to just have fun building, exploring, and creating. The next one is Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. This is a totally different split screen and co-op experience. The idea here is you have a ship that you need to operate to get you through crazy deep space. You can have up to 4 people, and let's say one person's driving it, another person's manning the shields, another person's shooting, another person's doing the thrusters to get you through. And maybe someone that has a emergency, they have to go fix something else, and they were the shields. They run to another part of the ship, but then an enemy comes and starts shooting, and there's no way to block their bullets. They have to frantically run back up, or someone else is like, okay, I'm gonna jump off the thrusters, and I'm gonna run up the shields. And it gets really complicated, but it's super fun. Again, like Overcooked, it can get really crazy where one person can make a mistake and mess it up for everyone else, and then you're all scrambling to recover, and it's just a blast to play. And I think this is a game that doesn't get its due a lot of the time because it looks different. It doesn't look as interesting and fun as Overcooked, but it is. It's awesome. Now, there was a couple fighting games on the Switch that I could have put in here, but the one I wanted to put in was Pokkén Tournament, because I was actually debating between Street Fighter and Pokkén Tournament, but I decided on Pokkén Tournament in the end because I feel like Pokkén Tournament is a little bit more accessible than Street Fighter, where Street Fighter is 2D and it's all about combos and that kind of stuff. While obviously Pokkén Tournament still has that kind of stuff, it's still in like that more 3D arena environment, and you have helpers and you have more attacks and specials and all this kind of stuff. So I feel like it's a bit more accessible to maybe a younger audience or a less gaming audience, where people can still get really good and get really deep in the technicality of it, but casual people can also still access it. And I think that's really cool. It's an amazing fighting game. It's all Pokemon. You can probably tell from the gameplay footage, and if you don't know what Pokemon is, I don't know who you are. Again, like Minecraft, how could you possibly not know? All the Pokemon have different stats. They actually just came out with a new DLC battle pack thing where they're adding new Pokemon to the game, and so they are continuing updates for it. And I don't know how long the DLC kind of stuff will continue. We weren't really expecting it, but it's pretty awesome anyway. But yeah, great fighting game, awesome to play against each other, against other people, to play online with people, and it's just one of the best fighting games on the Switch in general. If you like fighting games at all and you like Pokemon, I definitely think this is the one to get. One of the early games that came out on the Switch that's really unique and adds a bit of a twist on the co-op split screen experience is Snipperclips, Cut It Out Together. And the cool thing about Snipperclips is that it takes a lot of cooperative experience to be able to really enjoy this game, because there's puzzles that are pretty complicated. For instance, a ball is going to drop and you have to have a curve with water in it, so the ball will fall on the water, it won't bounce out. Then you have to go figure out how you can dump that onto someone else who can get that into a hole, so that the ball goes into the hole but the water doesn't wash away, and that also has to go into its own basin. And sometimes it's like, hey, the water needs to match what it would actually look like in the sea, so we have to cut ourselves into the correct shape. And it's really interesting. There's a bunch of different mechanics in this game that actually are pretty challenging sometimes, but it's also cool because you can have just like a father and son doing this together with a young kid, or you can have a bunch of your dorky friends that are just having a blast playing a game and like laughing at each other and messing it up. Because if one person cuts, it's all perfect, everybody's about to do it, and then another person cuts away a little bit, and then it messes everything up, and it's like, why would you do that, you know? It's one of those games, lots of puzzles, lots of the creative thinking that's needed to be able to pass the levels, but it can be a lot of fun on the way. And working with other people to solve problems is always a fun thing to do, because sometimes like in Overcooked, you're just having a lot of fun, you're just messing around, people are like, no, but in this game, it actually takes thinking and cooperation, and so there is that bit of a different dynamic, which I think is really cool, and Snipperclips is kind of the other side of that. Mario Kart 8. What can I say about Mario Kart 8 that hasn't been said? The definitive Mario Kart experience, the best racing game on the Switch, one of the best family co-op, friend co-op, any kind of split screen co-op experience. It's just an incredible game. There's almost 50 tracks, there's a ton of different characters, ton of different customization options, a bunch of different difficulties, battle modes, online. There's so much stuff in this game that you can do, and the split screen co-op is incredible. Having 4 people race each other on maps is just a blast. I play it with my family, I play it with my friends, I play it online. Everything that you can do in this game is just incredible. I don't know what else to say about Mario Kart. This is a must-have for anyone that likes to play any kind of co-op, online, local, anything. Split screen, whatever. If you're a family, if you have friends that want to play your Switch, whatever it is, anywhere you go, you should have Mario Kart. This is just one of the games to have for anyone who has a Nintendo Switch. Even if you don't have a bunch of friends to play with. I don't have a bunch of people to play with me here. I still have Mario Kart because it's just that good. Just get Mario Kart. I mean, I'm just gonna go on to the next one, but just get Mario Kart. To the sportsy world we go with NBA 2K18. If you're a sports fan, specifically a basketball fan, this is an incredible game to play for local co-op. It is a port from other consoles, and while the other consoles do have a bit of a superior version, the Switch version is incredibly well done. I was really surprised when playing it, and it's so cool that it still has things like local co-op. I don't know what else to say. If you've seen the NBA 2K games, you know what this is like. You can look at it, look at the gameplay footage. It's a basketball game game. It's the best basketball game franchise there is. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Basketball game. You guys like that? This is for you. Another game that could be fun for adults, but is really good for families for split screen co-op. And if you're like me and you're an adult, but a kid at heart, this game's good for you too. And that is Lego City Undercover. This is literally Grand Theft Auto in the Lego world and more family friendly. It's co-op. You can just go around this huge world, explore, cause mayhem. Because you're undercover, you can do crazy things, but you're still on the good side, unlike Grand Theft Auto, where you can just do whatever you want and be really bad. It takes all the bad stuff out of Grand Theft Auto, puts it in a Lego world, and just lets you explore and do whatever you want. And so I think this is a fun co-op game, especially for families or people that have younger children. And you can see from the gameplay footage here, it's just about exploring, just having fun in this world. There are like quests kind of thing to do, and there's a story, but it's just a big place to explore and have fun in, and I think that's the best part of it. Now, to go kind of in the opposite vein for this next game, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is an amazing co-op experience, but because it's a 2D platforming game, it requires a lot more skill to be able to do really well. It's easy to pick up for sure. Anyone can pick up this game and just jump, move, attack, but to get really good at it actually takes some time. So taking that time with someone else, learning together, one person learns something and they can help the other person, or maybe someone never gets as good as the other person and that other person kind of carries them along, but you can still have an enjoyable experience together. That's one of the cool parts about this game, because Shovel Knight alone is a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing game, and the fact that this game has so much extra content with the treasure trove part of it, everyone should have this game, especially if you like that 2D platformer style. This is a throwback to older games, but it plays amazing. The story's awesome, the characters are awesome, everything about it's really good. So I'd recommend Shovel Knight, especially if you want an experience that takes a little bit more time to master and isn't just an easy get in, get out experience. And this game has a lot of replayability as well, finding secrets. Just like old games, it has a kind of linearity to it, but there's a lot of secret paths where you might entirely miss a huge section of the game you didn't even know you could get to. So there's all that kind of stuff to explore, to find out, to experience. So I'd really recommend Shovel Knight, especially to people that want to play that co-op experience together, where it takes some skill, takes some time, has some fun getting through that platforming and getting efficient at those things. And like I said, Shovel Knight is just an amazing game. You should be playing this game whether or not you have local co-op, because it's that good. Now, before I say the last game, I want to give a quick shout out to Super Mario Odyssey. The reason I'm not putting this on the list proper is because it's not technically a co-op game, even though it does have local co-op and split screen. Really what it is Mario is one character and the other person's Cappy, which means they can spin around, they can go capture things, they can get coins or whatever, but it's not an equal experience by any means. This is more of an experience for someone like, let's say I'm a hardcore gamer and I want my wife to play along with me, but she doesn't really play games. This would be something for her where she can move around the cap and not have to really do a ton of the hard platforming and stuff like that, but you can have enjoyment with them. So if you're a parent with a kid that's still kind of casual and learning about games, this is a great thing for them. Or if you have friends, or like I said, a significant other that's not really into gaming, this is awesome, because Super Mario Odyssey, 10 out of 10, amazing game. It's one of the best games of 2017, one of the best Mario games ever, if not the best Mario game ever. And so being able to bring someone along for that experience so they can enjoy it as well and see how awesome it is, but also not have to work super hard and get frustrated, and you can kind of carry them through those parts. It's a really great game for that. So I wanted to put that on this list for those people that really want Super Mario Odyssey. They want something they can play with a younger person, or maybe someone that's a bit more casual, but also can still have a blast and play together and always be playing. And one of the cool things about it is it doesn't have to be split screen, because the cap always stays in a relative range of Mario. So you're still playing on one big screen and they can always see what they're doing as Cappy. So while this is a split screen co-op list, you get to play co-op without the split screen, which doesn't happen too often and makes the experience that much more enjoyable. All right, so for the last game on this list, I had to put it on here. Of course, that's Rocket League. Rocket League is the non-sports person sports game. What I mean by that is you're just driving around cars and trying to hit a soccer ball into the goalpost. And that sounds dorky. It's one of the most fun games to play over and over and over again, because it takes a while to get good at. You can just jump in and play it whenever you want, and it's really easy to play, but to get really good at takes some time, and playing with others is just so crazy because it doesn't have all of the complicated rules of soccer. Literally, it's just, hey, do whatever you can to get this ball in the goalpost. And you can do jumps, crazy spins, you can do drifts, you can hit boosts, and it's all kinds of stuff that you can do. But the real fun of the game is just that it's really easy to pick up and get into, but it's so addicting, and the matches go fast enough where you just want to keep going, getting better and better and better. and playing it with other people is so fun too, because they think they're gonna get a goal and they shoot it and you jump and you boost and you turn and you hit it and it goes in the thing and it's just amazing. You're like, I can't believe we did that. Yeah, Rocket League is that kind of game. And like where Overcooked was something where people are always kind of raging and like it's hard, this game is kind of the other direction where it is hard, but it's a lot easier to succeed in general, and being able to just get goal after goal after goal and destroy the other teams, it's such a blast in a way that without playing it you can't really experience it, but just watching and seeing you can kind of see how the gameplay works. But this game is so much fun, and this game is one of the cheaper on the list. I think it's about $20. It's $40 physical in store because you get like a collector's edition, but for $20 you get this game and it has hundreds of hours of content. This game is a phenomenon. And by the way, another cool thing about this game is that it does have cross-play between Xbox, PC, and Switch, so you get to play with all of those people, so you'll never have to worry about not finding a match because someone on one of those consoles will be able to play with you, and that's super awesome. Alright guys, so that is my top 10 list of co-op and split screen games on the Nintendo Switch. I hope this list helped you figure out what might be good for you and your use case, but also if I missed any games, if there are other co-op games that you really love, leave them down in the comment below. Maybe I'll add them into the next video that I do, or we can just have a discussion on why some of these games are better than others, what you really love. If you've had amazing experiences with games that I missed, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And if you're new to this community and enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that subscribe button for new videos every single day. And don't forget to give that like button some love. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's continue to create the greatest gaming community in the world. See y'all guys in the next video.